Hello everyone, today we have the Fallout Commander deck, Hail Caesar for Magic the Gathering. And obviously I chose this deck to buy because it is Caesar, Legion's Emperor. And I know it's not the Julius Caesar, just like it says here. Caesar isn't actually the famous Roman, but his desire for power and conquest is a perfect match for his ancient predecessor. Yeah, missed opportunity to release an actual Julius Caesar variant. But hey, who am I? I really hope that one day we will actually see a Caesar, an actual Julius Caesar. I'm absolutely ravaging this box, but hey, there's probably nothing of value in here except for the deck. How does this even work? Oh, like so. Okay. Alright. What's this then? Nothing. So we get, of course, in Fallout style, some counters, which is nice. I punch them out. I keep them in a little box because you never know if it's gonna be, yeah, handy or not. Right, we get a collector booster sample pack with 2 cards in it. I believe it was 2. Yeah, must be 2. It's not on here, but it's probably 2. We get a little booklet here that tells us about how to play the deck. And we get an etched thick showcase card here for this commander. Now then, let's see what it does. Caesar, Legion's Emperor. For 4 mana we get a 4/4, and whenever you attack you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, choose 2. Either create 2 1/1 red and white soldier creature tokens with haste that are tapped and attacking, or you draw a card and you lose 1 life, or Caesar, Legion's Emperor deals damage equal to the number of creature tokens you control to target opponent. Right, and those tokens obviously are these haste 1/1 soldiers. Now then, what else do we get in terms of tokens? We get a robot, 3/3. We get a copy, another robot, another copy, a soldier, a 1/1 soldier, and then some other soldiers, and a warrior. Right, and on the other side here we have treasure. Ooh, pre-war money? I think so. We get junk. Oh right, that was a thing in this set as well, junk. A human soldier, treasure, food, as well as another soldier. So we don't get any radiation counters in this one. Ah, that's a shame. We get a counter that spins both ways, but never goes above 40. A little deck box that can fit a sleeved deck. Always nice to have. As well as obviously the deck itself. Now then, let's see what we get. And since I totally missed this expansion, this Universes Beyond, I have no clue what's in here. Caesar's Legion, obviously. We have Mr. House, President and CEO as an alternative commander, which is a 3 mana 0/4, and when you roll a 4 or higher, create a 3/3 colorless robot artifact creature token. If you roll 6 or higher, instead create that token and a treasure token. And if you pay 4 and you tap him, roll a 6-sided die plus an additional 6-sided die for each mana from treasures spent to activate this ability. Oh my goodness, that can get out of hand real quickly. We of course get this turn cards. Most people wouldn't really need that. Aradesh, the founder, for 3 it's a 1/4 with Enlist. As this creature attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness. When you do, add its power to this creature until end of turn. Okay. Whenever a creature you control attacks, if it enlisted a creature this combat, the creature that attacked gains double strike until end of turn. If that creature's power is 4 or greater, draw a card. Then we get the Battle of Hoover Dam. For 4, it's an enchantment. As Battle of Hoover Dam enters the battlefield, choose NCR or Legion. NCR gives you, at the beginning of your end step, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. A Legion will give you, whenever a creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Overseer of Vault 76. For 3, it's a 3/3 with first contact. Whenever Overseer of Vault 76 or another creature with power 3 or less enters the battlefield under your control, put a quest counter on Overseer of Vault 76. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may remove 3 quest counters from among permanents you control. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and they gain vigilance until end of turn. Wow, okay, that's pretty nasty. Securitron Squadron. For 2, it's a 2/2 squad 3. Vigilance, and whenever a creature token enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Sierra, Nuka's biggest fan. For 4, we get a 3/4, the Nuka-Cola Challenge. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, put a quest counter on Sierra, Nuka's biggest fan, and create a food token. Whenever you sacrifice a food, target creature you control gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of quest counters on Sierra. Now then, I don't remember this character, and maybe it's from one of the newer games, but I only played Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. And New Vegas was actually the only Fallout that I actually completed. I really do like the universe. I tried 4, but I couldn't get into it that much. And New Vegas was basically the Legion all the way for me. So I really like the universe, I really like the games, but I just haven't played all of them. So some of them I may remember from the games, especially from New Vegas, like Mr. House or Caesar, but most of them I probably don't know. Like this one, Vault 75, Middle School. I just either I missed something or it's just in another game entirely. For 4, it's a saga that says, for chapter 1, exile all creatures with power 4 or greater, and then chapters 2 and 3, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Yes Man, Personal Securitron. For 3, we get a 2/2. If you tap him, target opponent gains control of Yes Man, Personal Securitron. When they do, you draw 2 cards and put a quest counter on Yes Man. Activate only during your turn. Wildcard. When Yes Man leaves the battlefield, its owner creates a tapped 1/1 white soldier creature token for each quest counter on it. Ooh, spicy. VATS. For 4, it's an instant split second. Choose any number of target creatures with equal toughness. Destroy the chosen creatures. Wasteland Raider. For 4, it's a 4/3 squad 2. When Wasteland Raider enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. Okay. Mysterious Stranger. For 4, it's a 3/2 flash. When it enters the battlefield, for each card with an instant or sorcery card in it, for each graveyard with an instant or sorcery card in it, exile target instant or sorcery from that graveyard. If 2 or more cards are exiled this way, choose one of them at random and copy it. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. That is actually an interesting card. And it fits the color as well. I mean, red is chaos all the way. But yeah, this is an interesting one. Powder Ganger. For 3, it's a 2/2 squad 2. And when Powder Ganger enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target artifact. Rose, Cutthroat Raider. For 4, it's a 3/2 first strike, and she has Raid. At end of combat on your turn, if you attack this turn, create a junk token for each opponent you attacked. Whenever you sacrifice a junk, add red. Thrill Kill Disciple. For 3, it's a 3/2 squad 1, discard a card. When Thrill Kill Disciple dies, create a junk token. Wild Wasteland. For 3, enchantment, skip your draw step. At the beginning of your turn, If your upkeep, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. Then we have a Boomer Scrapper. For 3, it's a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you lose 1 life and create a junk token. Whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Boomer Scrapper. Colonel Autumn. For 3, it's a 2/3 lifelink. Exploit, and other legendary creatures you control have exploit. Whenever a creature you control exploits a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Desdemona, Freedom's Edge. For 4, it's a 3/4 vigilance. And whenever Desdemona attacks, target creature card in a graveyard that's an artifact or less, or that has mana value 3 or less, gains escape until end of turn. The escape cost is equal to its mana cost plus exile 2 other cards from your graveyard. Elder Arthur Maxon. For 3, it's a 4/2. Creature tokens you control have training. What is training? Whenever a creature you control attacks with another creature with greater power, put a +1/+1 counter on that token. Isn't that Mentor? Or am I just mixing stuff up? I thought it was Mentor. Like that. Blind Betrayal. Sacrifice another creature. Elder Arthur Maxon gains indestructible until end of turn. Kellogg, Dangerous Mind. For 3, it's a 3/2 first strike haste, and when Kellogg attacks, create a treasure token. Sacrifice 5 treasures. Gain control of target creature for as long as you control Kellogg. Activate only as a sorcery. McCready, Lamplight Mayor. For 2, it's a 1/3. Whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less attacks, it gains Skulk until end of turn. And whenever a creature with power 4 or greater attacks you, its controller loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Ooh. The Nipton Lottery. I do remember this one. I don't know from where, but I do remember this. For 4, it's a sorcery. Choose a creature at random. You gain control of that creature until end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste until end of turn, that destroy all other creatures. Paladin Elizabeth Taggarty. For 3, it's a 3/2 with Battalion. Whenever Paladin Elizabeth and at least 2 other creatures attack, draw a card. Then you may put a creature card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking, where X is Paladin Elizabeth Taggarty's power. Vault 11, Voter's Dilemma. A saga for 4. Chapter 1 is for each opponent you create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token, and then chapters 2 and 3 is each player secretly votes for up to 1 creature. Then those votes are revealed. If no creature got votes, each player draws a card. Otherwise, destroy each creature with the most votes or tied for most votes. EDE, Lonesome Eyebot. For 3, it's a 2/1 flying. EDE, my love. Whenever you attack, if the number of attacking creatures is greater than the number of quest counters on EDE, Lonesome Eyebot, put a quest counter on it. For 2, sacrifice EDE. Draw a card. Then draw an additional card for each quest counter on EDE. Desolate Mire. It's just a land. And it is for 1 and tap at black and white. Diamond City. It's a land that says it enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. Oh, that's interesting. Then you can tap it to add colorless or tap it to move a shield counter from Diamond City onto target creature. Activate only if 2 or more creatures enter the battlefield under your control this turn. Sweet. And then we get some reprints. We won't go over the reprints, but these are the reprints. Captain of the Watch, Entrapment Maneuver, Hour of Reckoning, Keeper of the Accord, Marshal's Anthem, Martial Coup, Secure the Wastes, Black Market, Lethal Scheme, Stolen Strategy, Anguished Unmaking, Assemble the Legion. Oh, love the art. Fervent Charge, Ruinous Ultimatum. I absolutely love this. We need more cards with art like this. The Romans, or at least this is what comes closest to it. Canyon Slug, Clifftop Retreat, Dragon Skull Summit, Isolated Chapel, Shadowblood Ridge, Smoldering Marsh, Temple of Malice, Temple of Silence, Temple of Triumph, Windbrisk Heights. And then we get some new cards that are uncommons and commons. Gary Clone. For 2, it's a 1/3 squad 2. Whenever Gary Clone attacks, each creature you control named Gary Clone gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Butch Deloria, Tunnel Snake. For 2, it's a 2/2 menace. Tunnel Snake's rule. Whenever Butch Deloria, Tunnel Snake attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each other rogue and or snake you control. And then for 2, put a menace counter on another target creature. It becomes a rogue in addition to its other types. Ruthless Rad Rat. For 3, it's a 2/2 squad. Exile 4 cards from your graveyard and menace. Craig Boone, Novak Guard. For 3, it's a 3/3 reach and lifelink. And he has 1 for my baby. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, put 2 quest counters on Craig. When you do, Craig deals damage equal to the number of quest counters on it to up to 1 target creature, unless that creature's controller has Craig deal that much damage to them. Legate Lanius, Caesar's Ace. Oh, love the art. For 4, it's a 2/2 with Decimate. When Legate Lanius enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a 10th of the creatures they control, rounded up. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Legate Lanius. White Glove Gourmand. For 4, it's a 2/2 and enters the battlefield to create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. At the beginning of your turn, at the beginning of your end step, if another human died under your control this turn, create a food token. Charisma Bobblehead. For 3, it's a Bobblehead that taps for 1 mana of any color. Then for 4, you can tap it. Create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens where X is the number of Bobbleheads you control. A Luck Bobblehead. So there are more than a couple of Bobbleheads, apparently. I think in each deck there are different ones? Question mark. For 3, we have one that says tap at 1 mana of any color. And then for 1 and tap, roll X 6-sided dice, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. Create a tap treasure token for each even result. If you rolled 6 exactly 7 times, you win the game. Oh my goodness. Can you do that? How many bobbleheads are in the game? I don't know. I didn't even know that bobbleheads existed. Interesting. Survivor's Medkit. For 1, it's an artifact that says for 1 and tap, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Either Stimpak, draw a card, Fancy Lad Snack Cakes, create a food token, or Rat Away. Target player loses all red counters. Sacrifice Survivor's Medkit. Impassioned Orator. I think this is a reprint. Intangible Virtue, Bastion of Remembrance, A Deadly Dispute, Morbid Opportunity, Pitiless Plunderer, General's Enforcer, Heroic Reinforcements, we have Wear and Tear, Arcane Signet, Skull Clamp, Soul Ring, Talisman of Conviction. Nice, I like that actually. That's a nice one. Talisman of Hierarchy. Oh, they're all booklets. Oh, I really like that. Talisman of Indulgence. Fun. Ash Barrens. We have the Command Tower. Evolving Wilds. Memorial to Glory. Myriad Landscape. Nomad Outpost. Path of Ancestry. Tainted Field. Tainted Peak. Terramorphic Expanse. Then we have we have full art lands. Plains. 2 times different plains. Then we get different swamps. Ooh, beautiful. And different mountains. Oh, that is amazing. That is gorgeous. All in all, I think this is a wonderful deck, actually. I don't know how it plays. Is it considered a good deck? I just don't know. Haven't been paying much attention lately to Universes Beyond, or Commander for that matter. So we have a collector, a booster sample pack. Let's see what it holds, shall we? We get an advertisement card, and then we get 2 cards here. We first of all have an Assaultron Dominator. For 2, it's a 2/2. When Assaultron Dominator enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. Whenever an artifact creature you control attacks, you may pay 1 energy. If you do, put your choice of a +1/+1, first strike, or trample counter on that creature. And we get a Sunken Hollow, which is a reprint. But still, it's 2 cards, extended art. I still don't like extended art. I mean, just do a full art or not. Not something in between. Oh well, at least it's a Sunken Hollow. It's a land at least. And an Assaultron Dominator. So there you have it. Caesar, Legion's Emperor. I was actually hoping for a card called Decimate in it. Instead we have a Legate that does it. But still, we have Caesar. Nice. I cannot wait to play him, to make a deck around him and review it on the channel, because obviously I am going to play Caesar. Oh, lovely. Thank you all very much for watching. Join the Discord if you haven't done so already. See all of these card games, discuss about them, etc, etc. Or join the Patreons just like these and get some insight in the life of me and, well, what is happening with the channel, stuff like that. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye bye.